Hello, everyone, and welcome to the July edition of the Real Estate Investment Workshop, an opportunity to learn about various aspects of the real estate industry. It's my pleasure to welcome you once again to the session. My name is Daniel Tete, and giving a brief introduction before we start the session today. This is a real estate program that has been going on for quite some time. That's led by the Team Group, which is a leading firm in real estate investing in Ghana. It also does this series of programming to educate stakeholders within the real estate industry, from buyers to sellers and to the real estate agents, giving you an idea of what it takes to make a career within this real estate sector. It also encompasses webinars, workshops, tours, virtual summits, live expos, retreats, and also accelerator programs. So thankful to all our speakers that have made it throughout the program to this point, and from its inception in 2023 up till now. We've had quite a number of speakers. As you know, the real estate industry is quite a large one, so we have a lot of influencers and stakeholders that make the industry as strong as it is. So thankful to all our speakers from 2023, also from 2024 as well, and thankful to all our speakers that have come on the program this year as well. So we look at various top real estate ecosystem players within the country, and we've had individuals and influencers from all these companies join us for our discussion. For the session today, we have an interesting speaker coming on, and I'll leave that to our resident host and moderator Niama to take us to the next step within the which encompasses the panel discussion. So we'll take a brief break and then we'll delve into the panel discussion. But welcome once again to the Real Estate Investments Workshop, where you learn about opportunities within the real estate industry. Thank you for joining.
Hello, everyone. Good morning to you once again, and you are welcome to today's real estate investment workshop. Today we have Dr. Hanna here, and I won't wait much time. I'll invite him right away. Uh, yeah. Hello, Dr. Hanna.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fine. Yourself?
I'm very well. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I can.
Sure. It's great to have you. It's great to have you today, and I won't waste my time. We just dive right in. I will leave the stage for you to introduce yourself. Tell us who you are. Some of us know you, but just for those who do not know you, please tell us about yourself.
Well, thank you. Once again, thank you for having me on here. I appreciate it. And I'm Hanna Atiase. I'm the CEO and founder of eWells Realty and Consultancy, which is our real estate brokerage division. We help clients buy, sell, rent properties, residential, commercial, land, you name it. And also Ewell's Homes, which is our real estate development division, Ewell's Property Management, and that real estate brokers, and co-founder of Accrel's African Continent Real Estate Listing Service. So yeah, my passion is to educate people about real estate. So we have Accra School of Real Estate. We're launching next month to teach entrepreneurship and real estate investment as well. So I think that's me in a nutshell. I am in ministry as well. So there you have it.
That's an extraordinary journey in the real estate that you have worked
Thank you.
towards. And congrats in launching the Accra real estate. You mentioned the name again, the one you're launching tomorrow.
Well, in August is the Accra School of Real Estate,
Accra
August
School.
11th. Accra
Okay.
School of Real Estate.com. You can visit the website. Yeah.
Sure. Well, I'm sure before we end, we'll talk about that so that those of us who look forward to learn more, will jump onto that as well. Okay. So, just from you founding EL Wells Realty to being recognized globally, I just want to know what inspired this journey. What is that thing that motivated you to go all out that today you are here?
Yeah, so my real estate journey started after reading a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. That got me intrigued about real estate. However, when I relocated to Ghana to continue the real estate journey, I realized that there was a gap between those in the diaspora wanting to purchase or invest properties in Ghana. There essentially was no bridge, no gateway to be able to do that. And that's where Ewell's Realty was birthed, the opportunity to give people that platform to be able to buy in Ghana, because I honestly believe that everyone should own a piece of their homeland. And so with that in mind, I wanted to be able to help those who did not have that bridge to buying property in Ghana.
To have you, and just today we'll be talking on just for those who do not know, today we'll be having a discussion on how to invest in real estate and owning your first home. And from the introduction, you can tell we have the right person for today's topic. So, Dr. Hanna, I just want to find out, you've been a very visible advocate for real estate development in Ghana. What does real estate investment mean to you personally, and how have you seen the market evolve, especially for first-time investors?
I'm sorry, I think I lost the connection there. Can you repeat that question for me, please?
Okay, so I want to find out, you've been visible advocate for real estate development in Ghana. What does real estate investment mean to you personally, and how have you seen the market evolving, especially for first-time investors?
Yeah, I think for first-time home buyers or first-time investors, you know, we need to get to a place where all right, are we on?
Yeah, we are on. I think there was a break from your end. I don't know if you can hear me loud and clear. Oh, having a technical challenge.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I can hear you now. Sure.
Yes, I can hear you.
Lovely.
Okay, so I was just saying that for first-time home buyers, first-time investors, we want to
Hello, Dr. Anand. If you can hear me, I think there's a break. Hello, Dr. Anand. Oh, okay, everyone. I think there is a slight challenge with the network, and we will get Dr. Hanna back on shortly.
So I'll wait for Dr. Hannah to come back. We'll take some questions that we do have, or if you do have any questions from the audience, you could send them in before, as the discussion goes on, we'll put some of those questions to Dr. Hanna Atiase to address as well. So we look forward to receiving some questions from the audience as well. Those of you that already have homes, you could let us know. You could also share your experience in terms of what the process was like in getting your first home, and what were some of the things that you learned that you would like others to learn about as well. So you could share that in the chat feed, and then we would read some out, and then also share the challenges, any questions that you have for the speakers, or would like to address that as well. This is a monthly session that has, so after this session we have another one in August as well to look forward to. So then treat you all to stay tuned for that as well. Okay. Could follow our social media channels via Facebook for Ghana Tech Summit, and Interim Group on LinkedIn as well to get updates from the team as well for this particular series.
Okay, we are back again, and thank you for your patience. And now we'll have Dr. Hannah coming on right away to continue our discussion. We are ready. Yeah. Hello, Dr. Hannah. Yeah. Dr. Hannah, can you hear me?
Laptop is halfway full. Well, let me go to your office.
Okay, I think I'm still having a bit of challenge at the moment. So we'll go on a 5 seconds break, and we'll back shortly. Okay, we are back, and we think now Dr. Hannah is ready. Okay, all right. So in some few seconds, I'll have Dr. Hannah on so we could continue our discussion. Okay, all right. Hello, hello, Dr. Hannah.
Hello. Hi, can you hear
Can you
me
hear me?
well?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay,
Okay, let me
are we ready?
turn it around so we can see. All right.
Sure.
This one. All right. I
Okay.
just had to move so that we can make sure we get the internet.
All right. So I can give you
Okay,
some few
one
seconds to
second.
set yourself up. You mind? Okay. So while we wait for Dr. Hannah, you can send in your questions. Any questions you have relating to real estate, whether you want to buy your first home or house, or you want to invest in the real estate industry, you can send in your question. Just drop it in the chat feed, and at the appropriate time, we will have Dr. Hannah helping us with answers to various questions that you all have shared. Thank you. Okay, now we are good, and here we go. We have Dr. Hannah here now.
All right.
Thank you. Yes,
Here we are
finally.
again and again. Sorry about that technical
Sure,
difficulties, but I believe we're good to
sure.
go.
Yes, we are good to go. Thank you very much, and I'm glad once again to have
Thank
you on.
you. Thank you for your.
Despite the challenge, we still made it possible. So we go back to before the break. I was asking you've been very visible and advocate for the real estate development in Ghana. I just want to know what real estate investment mean to you personally, and how have you seen the market evolve, especially for first-time investors?
Yeah, absolutely. So for me, I believe that real estate is buying a home beyond a home. Real estate is buying a home for profit. So particularly if you're a first time home buyer, first time investor, you want to look at the profitability of that home. A lot of times we look at a home as, our accommodation, our safe haven, and that sort of thing. But I think we should always look beyond that and look at the future. If I have to move or relocate or go somewhere else, what is the possibility of this asset? And look at it as an asset, as being profitable, right? So that's what it means to look at a home beyond a home. You're looking at a home for profit. And for me personally, I believe that it's a great era. I always say this: it's an era to having lived on Earth and never owned a piece of Earth. So that is what it means to me personally.
Okay, and how has it evolved with the first-time investors? How do you see it evolving?
Yeah. So I think, first time investors are learning from their first investment. They're becoming more savvy. And so more investors are taking due diligence seriously. And investors are not just buying just to be buying, but now I find that more people are buying properties with strategy, with financial goals, with a purpose of increasing portfolio and even diversifying portfolio. Before, people would just look at buying maybe just a property, but now people are looking at diversifying their portfolio, buying a house for cash flow, buying another property for appreciation, buying another piece of land somewhere to buy and to hold. People are looking at now diversifying their portfolio. That's what I've noticed is change. People are more strategic now.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Hanna. But I also want to find out, for let's say personally me, this is my first time I want to maybe invest in real estate. Um, what are some of the steps that you think I should look out for before putting my money into a property?
Yeah, so the first step is educate yourself. Learn as much as you possibly can about real estate investment in Ghana, if that's your goal, because the Ghanaian real estate landscape is different. The terrain is different. You need to understand what you're getting into. So the first thing I'll say is educate yourself. There are a lot of classes out there, and I just mentioned Accra School of Real Estate. Real estate investment is an option. Investment. So the first thing I would say is educate yourself. The second thing I would say is, what is your financial goal? Where are you now? Where do you want to get to? What are you trying to achieve? And then I can guide you and say, this is the blueprint, or this is the pathway from having a portfolio that brings in 1,000 CDs to a portfolio that brings you 10,000 CDs, or has a value today at 50,000, tomorrow at 10 million. So number one, education. Number two, let's define your financial goals.
Okay. So number one is the financial goal. Talk of the financial goal. Can anyone just stand up and be like, okay, yeah, education, and then financial goal. So after educating myself, I now have a financial goal. Is it anyone that can be like, okay, I have money. I just want to be right. I have money, so I just want to invest in the real estate industry.
Absolutely. And, I'll take it further and say it's anyone. You have money or you don't have money, right? Because the thing about real estate, I think there's a big misconception that you need to have a lot of money to invest in real estate. But I would beg to differ and say, listen, grow where you are planted. If you have 1,000 CDs, invest that in 1,000 CDs. Right now, the real estate landscape has really changed. You can look at fractional ownership. Maybe look at group economics. There's 10 of us. There's a plot of land for 10,000 CDs. If I have 1,000 CDs, you have 1,000 CDs. Let's get 8 other people with 1,000 CDs. Let's put it together, buy a piece of land. Let's buy, let's hold, let's have an exit strategy. Are we not all investing in real estate with 1,000
Yeah.
CDs? So
Yeah.
I think we need to look at the fact that everybody can invest in real estate. It's just that my investment based on my financial strength may be different to person A or person B, but we can all invest if we become creative.
Sure.
And come together.
Okay. So you did mention about some of the misconception about real estate. Being a first time investor or home buyer, what are the few mistakes that you think people who come in for the first time make? And then me being someone who wants to now invest in real estate, in order for me to avoid that, what are some of the things that I have to do? I know you've mentioned educating yourself and then having financial goal, but then I know there are some few mistakes that first time buyers buy. What are some of the mistakes that you have identified in the industry?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think the first thing. Yeah, so I think the first thing is not doing due diligence. The first mistake is not doing proper due diligence. People are trying to cut corners, people are trying to save. But I'll tell you this, it's better to pay that initial upfront fee than to end up paying years in court, legal fees, etc. So the first mistake people make is they don't do their due diligence. In my experience of interviewing people, and people, they did not follow the home buying process. There is a home buying process in Ghana. There is a legal way to do it. So do your due diligence is number one. Number two, I think people don't take the location seriously. Now, of course, we have prime areas in Accra. We also have emerging areas. So if you're going to invest, I mean, the safest to mitigate as much risk is invest in the prime areas, but the reality is everybody can't afford the prime areas. So you want to look at emerging markets, but you want to do your research. People don't do enough research. You want to do your research in those emerging markets to find out what are the next areas for the real estate boom, so to speak. Because the thing with location, if you have a good location that you've invested in, you win. But if you have a bad location, you can't move the property to a good location, and in a good location, you can always improve the property, with upgrades and that sort of thing. But if you're in a bad location, even if you improve the property, the fact that you're in a bad location, it ends up being a bad investment. So that's key, research into the new locations. And then finally, I would say, I find people are emotional when they're buying. I'll give you a perfect example. In our inventory, we have bank foreclosures right now. When you go and you look at the bank foreclosures, I mean, they need to be painted, they need to be cleaned. There's work that needs to go into it to get it to the right state. But people are emotional about it because they're like, oh, it doesn't look good, it doesn't look clean. But you got to look at the vision beyond that, right? Because you're looking at getting a property way below market value. You put in a little investment into that property, get it to retail value, you're moving into a home with incredible equity in it. So don't be such an emotional buyer, is what I would say.
Right. If we are not, if we don't add emotions to it, then we won't. We might buy something that we are not supposed to buy, because I need to feel at home when I buy this home, or when I'm investing in this. I need to feel at home. So if I'm not to add my emotion, won't that kind of worry me as well in the future?
The line is breaking up, and I think in the chat someone says the volume is too low. But your question is, if you're purchasing an investment and you know you're going to live in that investment, there's going to be some sort of emotional attachment, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, the key word here is investment, right? The key word is investment. You cannot be emotionally attached to any investment, because with every investment, there's risk, right? And there's reward. So what I would say is, you've got to find a few things that matter to you and to those who are going to invest after you. What is key? Good schools around, good hospitals, good roads. These are all generally good things that, yes, you could be emotionally attached to. But I would say that if you're going in with the mindset of this is an investment that down the road I want to be able to resell, then I want you walk into the house and you say, oh, the house must have pink tiles, right? That's an emotional attachment because you love the color pink. But if I'm going to put a house with pink tiles on the market, it may not be able to have that resale factor value or even the rental factor. You can have it during the period that you're staying in the home, but also understand that when you put it on the market, you're going to have to get neutral colors. That's just a simple example. So I would say that get some things that matter to you and matter to everybody else who's coming after you, like those things I mentioned.
Okay, thanks. Thank you very much. While the discussion is going, I just want to find out what are some of the investment opportunities out there in the real estate for anyone who wants to invest. What are some of the opportunities out there?
Yeah, there are a lot of opportunities. Let me start off with cash flow. Everybody wants cash flow. So cash flow opportunities are in the prime areas, right? Using your property for Airbnb. And again, you don't have to buy a 2-3 bedroom house. You can start off with a studio, okay? You can start off with a studio, rent that in a prime area anywhere from $100 to $150 a night. There you get your cash flow from that. Another investment opportunity is appreciation, capital appreciation, prime areas and emerging markets. So let's take East Legon Hills, for example. Years ago, you're looking at plots of land for 10, 15,000 Ghana cedis. Today, closer to the gate, you're looking at plots of lands that could go up to $90,000. You know, it varies from $35,000 to $90,000.
Yeah.
Capital appreciation, that's buy and hold for a period of time. You can look at land, you know, do your research, find out areas that you know development is coming to those areas, maybe jobs coming to those areas. They're planning on having factories coming to those areas. That is going to place a demand on housing because there are jobs coming to those areas. Roads are being fixed in those areas. So you need to find out what developments are coming to those areas. Agricultural lands is huge. A lot of people are lands, you can lease it, right? You can lease those lands, and usually those are long-term, 30 years, 60 years, 50 years. So agricultural lands is also something else you could look at. People are looking at warehouses where you can actually rent out space, you know, industrial space. Another option is joint ventures. You have land, but you don't have the capacity for development or redeveloping that land. So those are some of the investment opportunities.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Hanna. In our discussion, you've mentioned location. When you are investing, you have to watch the location and other thing. I just want to find out, when making the first investment, how should one weigh the importance of location versus the type of property that one you as an individual is investing in?
Yeah, so if you're looking at location, you are talking about long-term value. In terms of location, you're talking about cash flow as well. And so the location should be as close to the center. We'll use airport residential as possible. If you're looking at property type, if I want to buy a 3-bedroom house and I decide to buy it, let's say in Kaswa, for example, because I'm talking about distance. I buy a 3-bedroom house in Kaswa as opposed to a 3-bedroom house in Labone. The rental demand for a 3-bedroom house in Labone is much higher than Kaswa because of the proximity to the city center. So if I want to rent that property out, the chances of me getting somebody to rent it out in Labone will be higher than Kaswa. So that is why location is key as opposed to property type. Even if I had a 1-bedroom apartment in Labone, I'd be able to rent that out faster than I would a 3-bedroom house with a garden and even a swimming pool in Kaswa. So that's why location is key, not property type necessarily.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I also want to find out, what are some of the things that you think prevent first-time home buyers from attaining those dreams that we have a lot of young people, even those that are old, that have dreams of owning their own property. What are some of the things that you think prevent them from attaining those dreams?
Yeah, I think the first thing is the mindset, right? The mindset, the fact that everybody thinks you need to be super wealthy to purchase real estate, and I just gave you some examples earlier. So first of all, you got to change your mindset, and you can believe that you can buy a home and you will be able to. That's number one. The second thing is to demystify the myths or the negative narratives surrounding real estate. For example, lands, people get very, very scared. The fear of buying lands or being scammed. You know, if you follow the right home buying process and the due diligence process, you minimize that risk as much as possible. The other thing I would also say is, you know, people don't understand the fact that they are financing options. Right now in the market, it's given us more options. There are mortgages, there is seller financing, they are payment plans, there are investor friendly options out there. So I think, you know, as I mentioned before, educate yourself as much as possible. So people don't understand that they are financing options and they feel limited that they can't afford it, but there are options out there.
Okay, but this options where I know some of them on a normal day, some of like Google them, but where are some of the places that we can find these investors or payment options available? Hello, Doc.
Okay, the line was breaking up a bit, but some of the areas of investment right now, I would say if you're looking for cash flow, of course, the prime areas. If you're looking for emerging markets, you want to areas, right? So East Legon Hills, around, you know, cantonments, not far from cantonments, you have Chado area, you have the Pram Pram area, you have Oyarafa, you know, even Adenta Amanfro, that's Dodowa stretch. You have Pokwasi area. These are all up and coming areas that you can consider for your investment. But don't forget, there's short-term investment and there's long-term investment. So you want to, the further out you go, you're looking at long-term investment. Somewhere like Pokwasi, there'll be more long-term investment. Shorter-term investment would be Chado, East Legon Hills, Oyarafa, Pram Pram, those areas.
Okay, and within the industry, we've heard a lot about people being fraud, especially first-time buyers or first-time investors. I hear there are a lot of the majority of cases in court currently has to do with real estate, things relating to real estate. What are some of the things that we can do to avoid anyone who is looking forward to, even those that are in already, some maybe haven't yet been frauded yet? What are some of the things that we can do or identify to prevent as the individual from being fraud while we buy or invest in the real estate industry?
Well, the first thing I would encourage anybody to do is attend the First Time Home Buyers in Ghana seminar. I host that every year in December. The next one is December 13th, 9 a.m. prompt. Yes, at the Accra Tourist Information Center. And I teach about the home buying process and how to identify red flags so you can avoid becoming a victim of real estate fraud. So, the first thing before you start investing is understand what the home buying process is. Understand the 4 key people you need in any real estate transaction. You need a professional real estate broker like myself. You need a lawyer. You need a valuer to ensure you're getting value for your money. And you need a home inspector to make sure that there are no loops or loopholes in your property. The structure is okay. Heavily in that property, the last thing you want is to inject additional capital. So that's what I would say. Get educated, understand the home buying process in Ghana. There is one, understand it. And then we have escrow services as well, which helps mitigate the risk by dispersing funds based on certain milestones for off-plan property. Yeah, I hope you heard that part. I was saying we also have the escrow services, which helps mitigate risk.
If 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 you can hear me, I think there was a break somewhere when you mentioned about the diaspora. I didn't hear the word clearly. Can you hear me, Dr. Hanna? I think we missed you. We missed you at a point. There was a break somewhere when you spoke about the diaspora part. I didn't hear the full word. Okay. I think we lost Dr. Hanna again. She will join us shortly. All right. So while we wait for Dr. Hanna, kindly drop in your questions in the chat box, and once she comes back on, we'll, at appropriate time, we'll ask her the questions you drop. Okay. She's on, so just a few seconds. Okay, welcome back, Dr. Hanna.
Thank you. Good to be back.
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
All right.
Can you hear me, please?
Great. I can.
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So you when you were mentioning your point, I think we lost you at the diaspora point. Some of the key people that we how we can secure a home and the steps you were mentioning the steps, and then you mentioned the diaspora. I think was at that point where we lost you. I don't know if you take us through those points again.
Yeah, so I was stating that the key thing is to attend the First Time Home Buyers in Ghana seminar that we host every year in December. We teach the home buying process there. And one of the things I mentioned was that you need 4 key people in any real estate transaction: a real estate broker like myself, the legal entity, a valuer to assess the true value of the property. There's scenarios where, everybody thinks their home is worth $1 million because of their emotional attachment. But a valuer will come and assess the property based on market demand. And you may think it's $1 million, but it may just be $100,000, right? So you want to make sure that you're purchasing the home at its true value. And then also have an inspector to come and inspect the home, make sure that the structure, the plumbing, electrical, the roofing is intact. Because the last thing you want to do is purchase a property and then a few months turn around and have to invest quite a bit of capital into fixing a roof. So, these are all key things that people have to bear in mind in purchasing a home.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Hanna. I think with this, in your next edition of the Bitches in December first-time home buyers, we will surely be there to learn more about how to buy a home, the steps involved. Okay, to our audience, please, if you have any question for Dr. Hanna, kindly drop it in the chat box, and we'll pick it up from there and then ask her on your behalf, and hopefully she answers you correctly. And okay, so whilst we go on, Dr. I just want to find out from you, as someone who has broken so many ceilings in male-dominated industry, what advice will you give to women aspiring to lead in the real estate industry?
Yeah. So what I would definitely say to women who want to enter this male-dominated field, real estate, is number one, invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. Learn as much as possible. I mean, I think I have every book on real estate out there, and I try to keep up with the current trends and that sort of thing. So invest in yourself. Learn as much as possible. I mean, bet on yourself. You are the greatest investment you'll ever make. Right? So invest in yourself. And when you do that, when you invest in yourself, you become valuable. And value attracts. So when you are valuable and add value to every real estate, and you will end up placing a high demand for you because you're valuable. So invest in yourself. Bet on yourself.
Invest in yourself. Whilst we invest in ourselves, I also want to find out one misconception about real estate you wish more people understood, because within the industry, we've had a lot of people. You mentioned everybody can invest in real estate, but we also hear people need to have millions of money. If you are not rich, you can't invest in real estate. So what is our misconception that you have heard about, or whilst you took the step in the real estate? What are some of the misconceptions that you think people have, and you wish they will understand that is not true in the real estate industry?
I think the biggest misconception is that there are no professionals in the real estate market. One of the goals I set out to do was to change the narrative. When I first relocated to Ghana, everybody said that real estate agents are scammers, real estate agents are unprofessional. And we do have professionals, and we do have an association, the Ghana Association of Real Estate Brokers, GAREP. These are real estate professionals, and they can be found. They have no criminal record. We do police background checks. They go through trainings, through seminars. We have educational platforms. We have code of ethics they must follow. So I think one of the biggest misconceptions is that there are no real estate professionals, and they are.
Okay, Thank you very much, Dr. Hanan. So, just so you know, in case you do not know, we have real estate professionals, as Dr. Hannah have mentioned, and there's a question here that says, "Is the Ghanaian real estate market a bubble?"
Well, because we are in a cash-based economy. So most people who purchase properties with funds, right? There is a few segments that do purchase it with a mortgage. If we look at history and we look at where there was a real estate bubble, for example, the real estate crash in the US, it was because, I mean, the numbers 95% of people purchased with mortgages there. So that's why we had the real estate crash. But here, people are purchasing with cash. What I would say is that right now, you will notice that they are properties that are empty in prime areas, and that is because people are still holding on to what the market used to be. They used to get $4,000 for their apartment. They still want to get $4,000 today. So they're not flexible, and so their properties remain empty. So I would say that people are going to have to adjust to what the market demand is. But in terms of it being a bubble, there's a housing deficit. We need approximately, based on the Ministry of Works and Housing, we need approximately 1.8 million units to satisfy people who need homes. So there is a demand for housing. There is. And there's a housing deficit. So I don't see a bubble anytime soon.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Hanan. Another question that also says, what is the place?
Yes.
What is the place of technology in the Ghanaian real estate market as we find ourselves in the era of AI?
Huge. It's huge. It's huge. Technology is key. You see a lot of people coming up with prop tech, right? Property technology. We have the various platforms. We need to harness data. We need data in real estate, right? To know, okay, this property sold for this amount. This is the comparative analysis or a market analysis. This is what this property can sell for. We need data. So I see technology playing a huge role in the Ghanaian real estate market. You see various platforms that have come up, like Akrels that I talked about earlier, African Continent Real Estate Listing Service. If I want to buy a property anywhere in Africa, where do I go? Now you can go to this platform. You can purchase in Kenya. You can purchase in Ghana. You can purchase in Nigeria. You can purchase in Zanzibar. You have one platform, a centralized platform where you can go and purchase anywhere. AI is key because now we are in a global environment, right? With the various time zones. Are you going to have your employees up at 3 a.m. to answer a call from somebody in Australia? Or even up at 10 p.m. to answer a call from somebody in the United States? So yes, AI is very important. You can get AI agents to help round the clock to answer a lot of questions for those particularly who are in the diaspora. We are in a global economy. We need to adjust. AI technology is very key in the Ghanaian real estate market if you want to scale up and if you want to move forward.
All right, thank you very much. So I also want to find out from you, what is your personal philosophy when it comes to building wealth through real estate property? Sorry, through property. Yeah, real estate property.
I think the line was breaking up.
Oh, sorry. Okay, can you hear me now? Is it loud and clear now?
Okay, I can hear you now. Now, please repeat the question.
So I want to know your personal philosophy when it comes to building wealth through real estate property.
Okay, so the question is, what is my philosophy on that?
Yes.
Okay, great. In the United States is that 90% of millionaires started with a real estate portfolio in the last 2 decades, right? It's a proven track record. But I noticed that we don't see that here in Ghana or in Africa as a whole. So one of my goals is to see millionaires and multi-millionaires being raised up through the real estate investment space. And I think the reason why we don't see that is because of the lack of education concerning real estate investment. And that's why I'm championing real estate investment workshops and master classes. Because number one, I want there to be a mindset shift. I want people to understand that they too can build wealth through real estate. What real estate is about leaving a legacy for those who come after us. And then also, I want people to know that it is possible. It is possible in Ghana. It is possible in the African continent. With the mindset shift, with the education, we too will be able to see millionaires being raised through real estate. And then it's about generational wealth. You know, you're able to leave an inheritance for your children and their children's children. And I'm going to say that's what the Bible says a good man is. That's what it defines a good man. One who leaves an inheritance for their children and their children's children. And I believe that we can all do that in this nation and in the continent. I have a book that is out on pre-order now, Building Generational Wealth Through Real Estate in Ghana. If you go to Amazon.com, you will be able to pre-order the book. But we can do it in this nation. We could do it in this continent with the right education, the right strategy, the right knowledge, and the right tools.
Okay. Thank you very much. With the book, I'll make sure the team gets it and then share it with the audience as well. I don't know if you like to talk. We're almost done. I would like to know if you like to talk about
Thank
the
you.
Accra School real estate, and then first time home buyers, which you mentioned happens every December. Would you want to take the opportunity to talk about that as well?
Absolutely. So the first time home buyers in Ghana seminar will be happening on December 13th. Please mark your calendars, 9 a.m. prompt. And when I say prompt, I start prompt. Even if it's one person, I'm starting on time. And I talk about the home buying process in Ghana and how to identify red flags so you avoid becoming a victim of real estate fraud. There'll be various speakers, panel discussions as well, and there'll be various vendors that will be showcasing all things real estate, from properties to home decor, etc. So they will be there as well at the Accra Tourist Information Center in Cantonments opposite the Jubilee House. And we have various speakers from the Real Estate Agency Council, REAC, which is cracking down now. You do need a license finally to operate as a real estate broker in Ghana. So I'm excited about that. We also have the director of the Diaspora Affairs Office of the President, Mr. KOD, who will be there as well. And so we have various speakers, DAF, Diaspora Africa Forum, Ambassador Erica Bennett as well, and various key stakeholders. So it's an informational, educational seminar. And then we'll be live streaming for those of you who are out of the country and unable to attend, or who are also in the country, but maybe in Kumasi, Tamale, Takoradi. You can also benefit from learning how to buy property in Ghana correctly.
Sure, that's. Sure
and you can visit the website for more information. It's www.fthbghana.com. www.fthbghana.com for more information on the first-time home buyers. Thank you.
Sure. Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Hanna. I have one last question for you, and we'll be done. We'll be done for today.
Sure.
And that's in one sentence. What's your message to anyone who anyone here who dreams of owning a property or investing into in the real estate industry? What is your message to that person? Anyone who wants to buy a home?
In one sentence. Wow. One sentence. Okay.
Okay, let me give you the
one
opportunity.
Sentence I would say educate.
The way you say, wow, I just want to give you the opportunity to you tell us. It looks like it has a lot of information. There's a lot of information in there. So not to prevent you from sharing, let me not do it one sentence. Just tell us what information you have for us. If anyone out there who wants to invest in real estate or buy his or her first home in the real estate industry.
The first thing I want to say is you can do it. There is no cap to your age, to your race, to your background, to your finances. I purchased my first home at 23 with my brother. I did not have the financial strength of my own, so we joined our finances together and purchased a home, had an exit strategy, and then I went on to buy 7 houses after that by the time I was 25. So what I'll say to you, there's no age is no cap, right? Race is no cap. Background is no cap. What I would say is educate yourself. Learn as much as possible about real estate investment. Invest in yourself, because I'll come back. Some of the courses will cost you, all right? And some of them are free. Invest in yourself. And then grow where you are planted. If you have 10,000 CDs right now, make the highest and best use of that 10,000 CDs. You don't have to start with an apartment in Cantonments. You can start with land. You can start with a plot of land in Shy Hills. You can start somewhere, but just start. And it's all about building generational wealth through real estate, one house at a time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Hanna. It was great having you. If I didn't take anything away at all, one thing I took away is grow in yourself, and then invest and educate yourself as well. So, and grow where you are. You mentioned, I just want to quote exactly what you mentioned. Grow where you are and invest in yourself. I hope I had
grow
it correct.
Where you are planted. So if you are at 10,000 CDs,
great. Grow where you are planted.
Grow where you are planted. So if you are at 10,000 CDs, grow from there.
Sure. Thank you very much, Doctor. It was great having you on today's session, and we look forward to have you once again. Thank you for all the knowledge that you've shared, and God bless you, Dr. Hanna.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much. It was great to have Dr. Hanna here, and I believe we've all learned one or two, and thank you all for joining. We have a group. You can just scan the barcode and then to join the group, and we'll post an update on everything. I'll also do well to share Dr. Hanna's LinkedIn page on our various platforms. So if you have any further question, you can reach out to her, and she'll be glad to answer you. And also her book, let us all do well to pre-order on the Amazon website as well. Yes, and also she did mention about the first-time home buyers, which is happening in December. All those information will be put out there. And thank you all for joining. And like you all know, this is a monthly series that we hold to educate individuals who are looking forward to join the real estate industry, or they are already in the real estate industry. We do this every month, and next month is the month of August, which will be on the 29th. That's the last Friday of mostly the last Friday of every month. So we look forward to see you once again joining us. And any other information will be shared on our various social media platforms. Thank you all once again for joining today's session. Bye.